Hey, Ike here. Welcome back to Live Richly, where we help each other become better investors. So a conversation I have a lot with people is how do they find an investment to make that they don't have to worry about? Something that's low risk, that's gonna grow in perpetuity, and they can focus on doing the things that they wanna do. If it's running their businesses, playing with their dogs, raising their kids, whatever, you do you, right? And all the time, I always come with a vague answer as about how you need to know your investments, how you need to study the market, how you need to upskill yourself so you can manage your money better. But this got me thinking, is there such a thing as a forever investment? Is there something that you can invest in today, not worry about it, and next thing you know, you're a millionaire? Something that come hell or high water can form a core part of your portfolio and deliver consistent results. And I've been looking for a while, and I think I've identified 3 index fund ETFs that meet this criteria. They meet this threshold of being a forever investment. So the first thing to note in looking for these forever investments, or in this case, the index ETFs, I opted for an international index fund because the Australian share market only makes up 2% of the global stock market, and it's heavily concentrated on the banks, mining companies, and mining companies are highly cyclical. As investors, we're looking to maximize our return on our investments and minimize risk. And the best way, in my opinion, to increase your returns would be to invest internationally if you're looking to hold this investment for the long term. So if you're interested in knowing which investments I would consider starting my investment portfolio today, if I was starting to invest today, or if something I would be comfortable in investing all the money that I have and not checking it for ages and knowing that at the end of the road, I'm gonna be in a better position, this is the video for you. Also, on a side note, what do you guys think of the new setup? Apparently my last one looked like I was in a dungeon. Hopefully this is a bit better. I'm hoping to get some lights or something. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. And let's get into today's video. Let's first explain what an index ETF is and why you would use this investment vehicle instead of buying shares directly. So there's one inherent problem with the stock market, and that problem is choice. How do you pick a stock that's going to perform consistently and beat the market when you have hundreds of thousands of companies globally that you can invest in? This problem of choice of picking a winner is addressed by an index fund, which poses the concept of, instead of trying to find a needle in a haystack, why not buy the whole haystack? What an index fund is referred to my earlier video, which I did a deep dive, and is a way better explanation than I've given you. It covers index funds, ETFs, managed funds, the differences between the three, the pros and the cons. So links in the description. I'll put the graphic on the screen as well. Check that out if you want to learn more. If you ever watched any of my videos, you'd know I love the names of ETFs and their ticker codes. I'm a finance nerd and I live for this stuff. I'm here for it. So the first ETF is the Van Eck Vectors MSCI World X Australia Quality ETF. Try saying that 3 times fast. And the ticker code for this is QUAL. Get it? Because it's short for quality. Someone got paid for that. The ETF aims to give investors exposure to a diversified portfolio of quality international companies listed in exchanges around the developed world, excluding Australia. So this ETF makes this list because it focuses on quality businesses. So in order for the companies to be included in this ETF, they have to have a high return on equity, high ROE, they have to have stable earnings growth, so they have to be profitable and their earnings have to be growing, and they have to have low leverage or no debt. So this is a bit of a hidden gem in my opinion. It's from Van Eck, which is not a name like a Vanguard or an iShares, which I think is a contributing factor to why a lot of people don't really talk about it. But look at this performance. I mean, this ETF has averaged a return of close to 17% compounded over the past 5 years, and it charges a fee of 40 bips or 0.40%, which is a bit on the expensive side for an index tracking ETF, but the performance and the global diversification and sector diversification that it provides you is just fantastic. So why I love this ETF and why this is something that has made my list for an investment to consider to hold forever for the long term. There are 3 reasons. The first one, you're getting great global exposure to about 299 companies, 299 quality companies with one product. I mean, that's pretty good. The fee is okay. It's not great for index ETF at 40 basis points or 0.40%. That pretty much works out to be $4 for every $1,000 that you have invested in them. It's not bad, but it's pretty cheap, less than a cup of coffee. And the third thing is the track record. We only have a 5-year track record so far, but it's been compounding close to 17%, which in my opinion is pretty impressive. If you can give me an investment that's getting me 17% every year, I'm taking it. And I'm only paying 40 basis points. This is a win in my book. The second ETF tracks the most famous index in the world, S&P 500. It's known as Warren Buffett's favorite ETF. And this is the iShares Core S&P 500 ETF, ticker code IVV. I mean, there are different ETFs that track S&P 500, but I just like this ETF because it's the first one that I ever invested in, and it's been incredible. In my opinion, this is the product that most people who are starting to invest should start up with and not really look at anything else if you're trying to upskill yourself and learn more about the market. And the reasons why I love it, the reasons why it's making this list, is that it gives you access to the US market, which in my opinion is the best performing stock market in the world. You get access to companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Alphabet, up to 500 companies with just one product. That's pretty good. The second reason is diversification. As the name implies, we invested in about 500 companies, so instant diversification with one product and exposure to the US. And the last thing is the incredible track record. This ETF just performs year after year, and you can track how the index has performed all the way back to 1871. So that's 150 years of performance data. And the last thing, which is one of my favorite things about this ETF, is the fee. It's 0.03% or 30 cents every $1,000 you have invested. That fee to return ratio is incredible. Seriously, tell me one thing that you can buy of value for 30 cents. I said of value. Far out, some people. So the last index fund, okay, let me just prep myself. This is a bit of a mouthful again, is the Vanguard US Total Market Shares Index Fund. And someone got paid for coming up with this name. So this is the broadest of all the ETFs that we've discussed today, holding close to 4,000 companies, or 3,781 if you want to be exact. It charges a tiny 0.03%, or again 30 cents for every $1,000 that you have invested. They're practically giving it away. It has performed very well, again with a compounded return of 18.07% over the past 10 years. That is very impressive. Why I love it, again, the fee, it's really cheap, 0.03%. You can't complain with that. The second reason why I love it is the crazy diversification. You're getting exposure to over 4,000 companies with one investment. The third reason is the focus on the US. Again, as I've mentioned earlier in the video, the US is just the engine that powers the global economy, and it just makes sense to have a meaningful part of your portfolio invested there. And the last reason is just the track record. You cannot argue with an 18% compounded return over a 10-year period. That is really impressive. Okay, let me put this in terms that maybe will help you guys understand why I get so excited about having a high return on low fees, right? So let's say you're planning to invest at $10,000 over 10 years, right? You're putting in $1,000 every year, and using this ETF, you would have gotten a return of $28,808 over a 10-year period, right? You've nearly tripled your money. But the kicker is you've only paid $59 over the course of that 10 years to get that performance return. I mean, that fee to return ratio is just crazy. As you can tell, I love cheap stuff, but I love free stuff even more. So a like on this video will not cost you a thing. It'll definitely make my day. So if you got any value from this, please take a second out of your day to hit that like button. And if you would like to join me on my investing journey, help each other become better investors, consider subscribing to the channel to get more content like this. So my final thoughts: we're looking forever stocks, forever investments to form a core part of your portfolio. This stuff doesn't have to be complicated, guys. Investing doesn't need to be hard. In my opinion, I think any one of these three options are really good as a set and forget option. I really hate that term, and I actually need to take a shower after saying that. I feel dirty, but there are the closest things to set and forget, in my opinion. Like, investing doesn't need to be hard. You don't have to worry about the management fees, about diversification, about asset allocation, all this investing gobbledygook stuff. Just make this investment and spend your time doing the stuff that you want to be doing, spending it with the people that you want to be spending it with, and let your money do what it's supposed to do for you, make you more money, so you can live life on your terms, or as we like to say on this channel, live richly. So that's it from me. Please hit me up in the comment section if you have any questions. I reply to any and every comment, even the spam ones. I literally text bots sometimes. It's pretty sad. Anyway, until next week, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Don't forget to call your moms, and I'll see you in my crypto video. All right, bye.